I basically like damn near sawed into it trying to get this in there. I think I cranked my pinky too, but it's all good. Miata ownership isn't always sexy. Alrighty, back at it again today on my lunch break here. And basically, you reuse your existing seatbelt mount points for 2 of them. So I'm going to pop this bolt in on either side that secures the seatbelt. Turns out I don't think I really had to take that out at all. But we got that guy. And then up here, we have the bolt that goes down through here with a spacer. Got all the hardware lined up. So I'm going to get this bolted in, and then I want to start easy. Hit this bottom plate down here where you have to drill through and put the backing plate. Happy I waited till today to do the drilling part. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, so we were on the last bolt. Notice I said we were, because what I'm finding out here is you definitely want to have this spacer under the top piece first, because even though I have the other 3 loose, I can't quite get this up high enough to get him under. So now I'm going to have to take at least this bolt out, and I've got it loosened on the other side before I can get that spacer under there. And you can see I got this spacer in, but next time I do this, if there is a next time, what I'm going to do is put these spacers in first, get the top started, then get the bottom. That'd make more sense. Oh well, that's how you learn. So we'll check back here in a minute once I have them all situated, and then we're ready to drill. All right, here we are. So like I figured, taking out that lower bolt allowed me to get the spacer in. And fun fact, these are actually Imperial bolts and threads just for the seat belt. So this is actually a 5/8, so you don't want to use a metric on there, especially with your impactor, because it will round it. Ask me how I know. But anyways, I'm going to get this kind of down there. Same thing, I'm not going to go too tight on either side, just get it started. And you do want to put your seat belt through there with this little dish washer. And what that does is allows it to still, for the seatbelt to still move. I am going to have some limited travel here, I'm noticing, and a little resistance pulling the belt out. So we'll see. Might need to tweak that, or I might have frigged it up, but all in due time, we'll find out. So, like I said, I'm going to keep popping this together, then the next one we will be drilling. All right, here we are. Finally got it all bolted in. This guy over here fought me pretty good. Wanted to cross thread and go in at a weird angle, but we got that situated. Got all the spacers in. So now, got this big old drill. Got our holes right here. We are going to just tear right into it. I'm going to just keep it kind of lubricated. All I really have is WD. Better than nothing. Gonna drill through into the wheel well, and I'll hit these easy ones first. All right, little update. So, going right for glory, if you will, with the big guy here was not a good idea. It doesn't have quite enough gumption to get through there. It did kind of like let me center the holes pretty well, but what I found worked better is just to eyeball the center of the holes, where'd it go? And then just pop through with a really small drill bit. That has no problem getting through that sheet metal. Then switch over to the good old trusty Christmas tree bit. Step bit, as it's called. So then what you do, or what I did, once you get the holes punched with the little drill bit, just go in there to where those pilot holes are and finish them off with the Christmas tree bit. Just to make it large enough for your bolt to go through. You can see I got my bottom one. I think I got enough clearance to get through there, or to fit my drill bit in there to do the other 2 drilling from this side. Then you put your plates in and bolt it down. That'll be the next part. All right, here we are. So I got the holes drilled. I ended up using the Christmas tree bit, like I said. Also known as the step bit. I use this little guy to drill a pilot hole. I've kind of bored it out with that from this side. Worked real well. I got the heavy duty plate in there, and then you got these 3 nuts. I might actually look up their torque spec, or I might just tighten the bejesus out of them. Yeah, so that's what actually bolts this thing in on the bottom. Over here, that's where these guys go to. So I'll at least get that part done tonight, and we'll go from there. See you on the other side of the car. All right, here we are on the passenger side. Just drilled the holes. Let me turn the flash on for you. All right, same thing as the other side. Got it drilled through, push the bolts through, and this nice little angle piece sits right up there, follows the contour of the body, and then you pass it through and put those nuts on. It actually, when I impacted it, I noticed it will actually bend this right down to kind of fit the shape. You know, it's a 30-year-old car, so it might not be perfectly straight, but here we go, getting this in there. Now I'm just kind of dreading doing the top part, but we might try to get crafty and make a template or something like that, versus having to drill a bunch of holes with a foot-long drill bit, but we'll see. That will be next. All right, here we are back at the Miata Rollbar install. So the last 3 bolts you gotta get in on each side are a real pain in the butt to get to. See them in there. This is from the back. Basically, your parcel shelf, as it were, covers the holes from above. So what I've seen a couple people do is either drill holes down or make a bigger cut in the shelf. But Honey and I, right Honey? What do we think would be a better idea? Haha. We heard of this cool little right angle drill attachment. Check this beast out. So basically what we're gonna do is it kind of hooks up your normal drill, and then it can swivel, and then it's got a nice little chuck in there, little magnetized deal where you can put your drill bit. So basically, now when I drill this, the whole thing's gonna spin because I'm not holding it. Basically, see that guy down there? Right, Honey? So I'm thinking I should be able to get into those hard to reach places, lube this new drill bit up in good shape, and I just want to drill a couple pilot holes, and then we'll finish drilling it from the bottom. But I'm thinking this handy dandy deal, see I can come in at all these different angles. I should not have to cut up my parcel shelf, as they call it. So we'll see. I think this is going to be a pretty slick little solution. Right, Honey? And I got my best girl helper. All right, stay tuned. Goldfish down. All right, I know this is probably an obvious solution, but it is working so good. Honey's, where you going, Honey? You lost your shoe. Bring your shoe over. Get your shoe. All right, so I drilled the first hole just like this. So basically, I could come in at an angle with a drill. Just kept it lubed up, and I kept kind of pushing down in there. Took me about 30 seconds. You know, you don't ever want to be pushing your drill bit too hard. And look at this. There it is. Boom. Came right down. Beautiful. Of course, we're a little close to the frame rail, so I'll probably stick just a little bit to this side of it. That hole's slotted. But man, did that work good. And we didn't have to cut up anything to get to it, or have a foot-long drill bit. All right. Bye. It's all thanks to my helper. Say bye-bye, Honey. Bye. Update. So back on the driver's side, I had to add a little extension to be able to fit back in here. Check this out. Go get it. See that hole? I can reach all these super hard to reach spots right with my handy dandy drill setup here. This thing has been amazing. It's like $25 or something like that. Loving it. Okay, this is my last clip about this. Look at how insane this is. Right all the way through here. Boom. Right on the money. Amazing. I'm using a eighth inch bit for my pilot hole. And like I couldn't even fit it in there with the bit in. So I was actually able to snake this in. This thing swivels, click the bit in, flip it back down, and party. God, this is nice. All right, that's the last bit about that bit. Like that. All right, here we are. One bolt. Not sure what this wire is, but look at that. Fits right down. This one's going to be kind of a pain. I think I'm going to get like a longer extension and use that little right angle deal from the bottom. Like a 5/8 or so drill bit. Instead of my handy dandy Christmas tree that I love so much. Look at that. Boom. Came out perfect on those two. And then you can see this guy's way back in here, right on the edge there. So I'm thinking if I can come in here, a little right angle up to it. But we'll see. This side came out a little bit better than the other side. It was a little off. Not surprisingly, because it's harder to get to. So this one over here is kind of cocked, but not a big deal. I can open the hole up if I need to, but it'll probably pull in. And same thing. We gotta get that one in the back. But we are in the home stretch. All right, we are finally totally bolted in. It was a real pain in the butt because I had to get a wrench up on the top side and hold it while kind of finagling my impact on the bottom. Got all the holes lined up, top and bottom. Would have been easier with a friend if I had any, and if it wasn't COVID. But it's all good. So now finally I'm going to put the splash guards back on, get the car on the ground, and start reassembling the inside. So the next part will be kind of trimming the parcel shelf, since we're going to be cutting some pieces off it, and then the plastic trimming too, and the carpet and all that good stuff. So that will be next. Stay tuned.